Laura is with us in Alaska. Hi, Laura. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, Dave and Rachel. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My question today is how to best support my husband through a career change. He was a framer in college, mostly working for his father's residential contractor business, but he's been in banking for the past 7 years, and he's trying to change his careers to go back to being like a project manager or a residential contractor. And so far in the last 3-4 months, we've put about $2,000 into classes and exams, and his next exam to try is next week. He doesn't want a huge pay cut. Right now he's making between $80,000 and $100,000 a year with bonuses. So he doesn't want to start over with his career now that he's been doing this a while. And it's just kind of led to a lot of angst, I guess. But I guess my question is how to best support him through that, through all of this big change that's happening.
Because will his income go down with the new job?
So it's starting a whole new business as a residential contractor. First he needs a license, and then he needs clients, and it's hard to get a loan without experience. He's looked into getting a loan for a contract loan for building a house for someone, but so he wants to get credit cards and get more credit and be able to build a house. He sold his fancy truck and bought a cheaper truck, and so we have $40,000 saved for a plot of land. But I guess it's just kind of an unclear direction of how to start a business, and he knows how to do all that. It's just it's going to be hard because he to quit his job that makes $80,000 to start a business that potentially might not make anything for a year or two, and I guess it's just kind of an unclear path, and we're both kind of struggling.
Well, and part of the problem is it is a clear path. It's just a bad one, and that's part of what's bothering him and you, because what you're describing to me is ultra high risk. You're setting yourself up for bankruptcy. So no, you don't need to do what you're doing. I would recommend not doing his path. Hold on.
Sorry.
I do want him to go be a residential contractor, and I do want him to make this change. I do not want him building a house for someone else with money he borrowed. Lots of contractors do cost plus or even a profit margin agreement, whichever it is, and they're very similar. And so if I got ready to build a house, I could put up the money and hire a contractor, and they use my money to build my house, and he makes a profit. That is a normal arrangement in custom home building. You don't need to go into debt to build a house for somebody else. They should have the money. And if they don't have the money, they can go get a construction loan. And if your husband has a contractor's license in the state of Arkansas, the bank will loan them the money against a set of plans and appraisal, and you're able to draw on the construction loan as percentages of completion on the house are done. In no case is your husband or you on the debt. The individual building that's going to end up owning the house goes and gets the construction loan, and then the draw comes out, and when the draw comes out, it's to pay the lumber bill and to pay the contractor a percentage of his profit because we reached the 50% mark or the 25% mark or whatever. And it's laid out in a normal construction draw program. It's typically done, for instance, after the foundation is in, is one draw. After the framing package is up is another draw. Those are typical, I've been around this business my whole life and been in it my whole life. So, but there's no reason for you to have to go borrow money to buy a plot of land to build something on. That is not a good way to do this. And in the meantime, I would start doing a bunch of renovations and build decks and build other things on the side as a side hustle and get my volume up and get my customer base up before I quit. Because in order to build a custom home, he's going to have to be full-time.
Yes, definitely. I've sent him jobs like carpenter jobs and other things, but he really doesn't want to take a pay cut in between.
I want him to do that as a side hustle.
As
no pay cut.
A weekend evening.
Yeah, no pay cut. Put some guys on the job, building the deck. Go by and see them before work and after work, and check them on the weekends. And sub out the work with his contractor's license. Do some renovations, same way, but he does not have to be on the job all day long on these small projects. And there's no pay cut involved because he's still got his banker job until he gets his income up and gets enough, and he gets 2 or 3 custom houses lined up. And okay, we're getting ready to break ground this month on one, next month on another, next month on another, and you've got those under contract, meaning the people building the house have signed a contract with you to be their contractor. Now you've got business that you can quit based on.
Okay.
But you don't have to go into debt to do this, and you don't have to quit cold turkey to go do this.
Okay. Cool. I will let him know.
Okay. And I can be very supportive of all that because I think he could actually make about double what he's making now with this move. I think he's going to make more and do stuff he loves, and he kind of cut his teeth on the business. He grew up in the business. But guys who go out and just start spec building as we're heading into a recession are the ones that get their butts kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you feel that angst, Laura, like even when you were asking the question.
I could hear it in your voice.
Like,
you weren't sure what to be nervous about, but you just knew it wasn't right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love him. I want him to win. I don't want to kill his dream, but I'm feeling like a nightmare.
And would he receive this? Like if you kind of walked through this call of just different ideas versus I'm going to quit tomorrow and go into debt to build a house and all that. Like what's his level of comfortable? Is he comfortable in his plan?
I don't fully think he is. This sounds bad, but Dave Ramsey's been a bit of a curse word in our 10-month marriage, and like I got myself out of debt. We paid for the wedding with cash, but we both, we're not on a strict budget, but we have shared bank account. It's just kind of it's just been, I don't know, a little tense with all of this change, and underneath all of it is just kind of that he's just really unhappy with his current career choice, and it's just brought a lot of frustration.
I'm completely in agreement with him. I would much rather build houses than be a banker.
Oh man.
It just sounds like a whole lot more fun to me. So I'm totally supportive of his dream. But here's the thing: you can always do a dream with improper steps and turn it into a nightmare, and that's what I don't want for him or for you.
And Laura too, I would kind of push into this because you guys have been married 10 months. It kind of feels like a little bit of shaky foundation of like we're on the same page, but we're not here, and it's this, and I'm kind of tiptoeing around different stuff. I mean, you guys kind of just need to have over dinner this weekend, just say, hey, I just need to say out loud the things that I'm thinking and feeling, and I want you to hear them. And it takes courage to do that, but for him to hear that, and you guys start these kind of conversations, because tiptoeing around the issues is starting out a terrible habit for marriage.
Are y'all like 26?
We're 30 and 31.
Okay, yeah. Because here's what I'm old. So when someone says to me, "How can I be supportive of my husband?" and then they lay out all of the things that he's doing that don't feel right, that's code for I think this is a really stupid idea. How can I really tell him that and still love him? And still want him to go be somebody.
Piss him off.
It's code for, you don't really want to be supportive of him doing cocaine. You don't. How can I be supportive of my husband while he does a little cocaine? No, you can't. You can't do that. You're not supportive of that. And it's sweet, but it's just wrong. No, my wife does not support me in things that she thinks is crazy.
But you can be respectful in the conversation.
Absolutely.
But being honest where you are, Laura, to him,
Absolutely.
I think is one of the biggest gifts you can give him.
But you're under no obligation to support things that violate your beliefs and your common sense. Don't support those because you're going down with the ship. You're on the ship. Both of you are on it together.